want you guys to know that we love you. Thank you for joining the Dean's List today. We're back again in Women's Month. Am I correct?
That's correct.
I got a woman that we're going to be talking to today, and her name is Miss Java Rogers. She's going to be running for mayor of Hazelcrest, Illinois. Yes, today the Dean's List is actually able to talk about politics. I'm actually in my own studio, able to have the freedom to do so, and I'm so happy that you guys reached out to me to come on to the show. First of all, thank you. I want to shake your hand for coming on the Dean's List, and I want you to introduce yourself to the people.
I want to first say thank you. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to come on your show. My name is Java Rogers. I am a village trustee currently in the village of Hazelcrest. I am currently running for mayor for the village of Hazelcrest.
She's running for mayor, guys. So what she's doing, and you're hearing it here live on the Dean's List. So remember, you got 80 today, keep it that way. She's here today because she wants you to know who she is and some of the topics that we're going to be talking about today for Miss Rogers. And I'm just going to say, because she gave me a cheat sheet, let me tell you, she's a teacher. I want to tell you guys that. She's a teacher for 148?
For 148.
For 148, District 148. So she kind of gave me a little cheat sheet, showed me how to do this. And I want to talk and hit on some of the things that we actually spoke before we actually got started. So what I want to know is this. Community banking. Tell us about that.
Well, currently in the village of Hazelcrest, unfortunately, we don't have a community bank. And that's something that's, as I talk with the residents, especially a lot of our seniors, that bothers them because we've had a community bank for 35 years that I know about. And one thing that I've done, I have been speaking to banks so that I can bring community banking back to our community. It is imperative that we have a community bank so that seniors feel comfortable and to spark home ownership in our community as well too. People, they can know their bankers. People who know their bankers are more comfortable with going to that particular bank.
Now let me ask you this: with you working with Chase, would this bring more home ownership into the area?
Actually, will. Chase has a program that they're willing to set up with the village of Hazelcrest so that they can spark home ownership in our village. And partnering with a bank like Chase will help us build home ownership. They're also talking about financial literacy, which will encourage people to become homeowners and to be more knowledgeable about how they become homeowners and the duration of home ownership as well.
Okay, now guys, I want you guys to understand who she really is. She's been a trustee for 2 terms. Am I correct?
That's correct.
So she's been entrenched into this game for a little while, and she's also a homeowner in Hazelcrest over 40 years. You've been there for 40 years.
I've been in Hazelcrest for over 40 years. With home ownership, I hadn't been homeowner that long, but absolutely.
She's been in part of Hazelcrest for 40 years. So it's a part of her heart and her mind is seeing how that community is changing, and she wants the best for that community. Am I correct?
Most definitely. I have been a teacher in the community, where I have developed relationships with my former students. I have been a cheer coach, where I have also developed outside relationships with those people. So those are people that are near and dear to my heart, where as an educator, it makes seeing those people be successful even more important for me than it to me. And I'm also close to the seniors in the community. I appreciate and I love each one of them for what they have done. They value being homeowners. So just talking with them and receiving that knowledge and that encouragement from them, it inspires me, it encourages me. So I love talking to our seniors, and I try to share that knowledge with young people as well.
So basically, I want to know, and if people want to know, why are you running? I mean, you're a trustee.
Yes.
And you're running for what? Do you feel that the ideas that you have since you've been in the community, you've heard, you've seen, explain to us why you're running?
Absolutely. That's a very good question. I'm glad you asked that question. As a trustee for 2 terms, I have learned a lot, I've seen a lot, and I've actually grown in politics. And bridging my teacher life and my political life together, it helps me be more attuned to the needs of the community. I would like to see the economic engine grow. We have to build that up in our communities. When you have a strong economic base, we provide better schools for the students that we serve. And those go hand in hand. And a lot of times we don't like to admit that they do, but they do. When parents have jobs that are close by, that are sustainable enough for them to keep the housing that they want, then kids get to stay in the schools have a better structure, then the kids are better educated at the end of the day. At the end of the day. So it just brings that home for me. And a lot of times, because people see different things that are running for office, and I just think that my vision is a stronger vision for the James President.
Okay, now how many people are you running against?
There are 3 other people that are running against me at this time.
So what I want you to do right here in front now is tell them if they're living in Hazelcrest, what do they punch?
They need to punch number 4 for Java Rogers for mayor.
Y'all heard that? Number 4 for Java Rogers for mayor. But I want you guys to make an educated decision because we got many more questions for her as far as the community. Coming up in your community, how has it changed and has it changed for the better or for the worse?
That's a good question as well too. A lot of times people who, by me, I am a person who grew up in the community. And 35 years ago, as a senior in high school, the community basically looks the same. Things that I complained about as a teenager are things that teenagers complain about now. There's nothing to do. And some people see that as a good thing. And it's not, because we complain about children not doing what we want them to do. If we don't set up things for them to do that's positive, they're going to find something to do. So we have to provide that for them. We have to provide outlets for the children that we are around.
Right.
We can't complain about children and we haven't done anything for children.
Right.
We can't say we don't like what they're doing. We don't have anything else for them to do.
Right.
So we need to provide something for them to do. We have to create something for them to do. And it's us as adults that have to provide that. So for me as mayor, that is something that's near and dear to my heart. I shouldn't hear the same thing 35 years later that I heard before.
Right.
You know, the kids, they probably even have less to do than they did when I was in high school.
Right.
And that's unfortunate.
Because of the computer world, everybody now is not even, most of the kids not even going outside.
And
So,
that's absolutely true.
But we still got to make it where they're able to go outside. So will you be working with the park districts and all things like that?
Definitely, I will definitely tie in the park district, the library, the school district, and the village, because they have to all have buy-in in the community. Everybody has to have a buy-in. We all are stakeholders in the community. We have to all work together. If we work together, we can build that stronger community that we want. We can strive to have a better community, and our community will thrive, and it will definitely thrive.
So I want to hit you on some of the topics that's going on today. Can you explain to the people, what do you feel about working with everybody?
So I think it's imperative that we work with everybody. We have to open ourselves up to having a discussion with any and everybody who's willing to come to our community. We need to make sure that we don't isolate anybody. And unfortunately, we've done that in the past.
Right.
You know, we have 139-acre development that tried to come to our community, and we isolated that development. And we don't need to do that. If we want our community to be able to grow, we need to be more inclusive, and we need to make sure that we are including the community of Hazelcrest in those discussions. We need to make sure the residents are all there. We need to bring those people in to the table so that their opinions are important. Their opinions need to be voiced. They are intelligent enough to know what they want for their community, but we need to make sure those are the people that we hear from.
So tell the people, what would be some of the first things that you would do if you become mayor of Hazelcrest?
One of the first things that I would love to do as a mayor of Hazelcrest is to bring those residents. Let's have a town hall meeting. Let's talk to those residents. And as I'm campaigning, I am going out talking to residents. But I want to make sure that I build on their strengths as well. I want to know how much they want to have a sustainable community, a sustainable economic engine in the community, so that they can get to participate in the decision-making process. We are, the current mayor now, along with the village board, has created an arts district. And to increase the traffic in the art district, that 139-acre development, it actually isn't that far from the art district. So us working together will be able to create something strong for the art district as well as help penetrate the development of the golf course.
Now, one thing that puzzles me is about the schools with the school system. We don't have anything like shop. So is that something that you might want to bring back, discuss with your board about doing?
Absolutely. We have a building in Hazelcrest that was gifted to the village of Hazelcrest from Metro, and it sits empty now. Unfortunately, it sits empty. And I would like to bring in the trades. I would like to bring in STEM, because the more educated your community is, the more educated and profitable your community can possibly be.
Right.
And we can offer that to our students. We can provide that assistance, and even still working with the corporations that are in the community, bringing in corporations to our community to ensure that our students are able to work with them as well. So we need to be able to provide the education that goes into what are we doing for our students. What are we doing?
Now, will you have an open door policy? A lot of these mayors in different neighborhoods, a lot of people, when it comes to getting the vote, you have so many friendly people. But once they get the vote and they get in, then it's hard to get in contact with them. And will you have that open door policy where they are able to come and reach out to you and speak with you about?
Absolutely. As an educator, and I know a lot of times people don't like to discuss these types of things, but I would definitely have an open door policy. I believe everybody can learn from anybody. Everybody has some kind of wisdom, some kind of knowledge that you can receive information. They can always help you become better. And people sometimes just want to be heard. They want to have that listening ear.
Right.
So I want to have that open door policy so that they can also talk to me when necessary, and they can talk to anybody that is working for the village as well, so that they can receive whatever kind of assistance they may need.
That's a great thing. I just wanted to hear that because I believe in working with people. In my book, it's not about who that person, what side they on. It's if you can do the job.
Absolutely.
And see, I know everybody wants to hear that. Can you do the job? Can you do the job?
And that's the thing. I am ready for the job. I can do the job, and I'm educated enough to know that if I don't know something, I can reach out to people who do, so that they can assist me with making that job a better job.
Now I want to ask you, what does the word mayor mean to you?
That's a good one.
Yes, what does it mean?
I like the question. So for me, a mayor is a leader, but they're also a partner. And that partnership helps bring stronger partnerships within the community. A mayor has to be able to partner with any and every, with the businesses, the local businesses, community members, and the local stakeholders as well. But as a leader, they have to be able to lead as well as follow. You can't be a great leader if you can't follow. So being able to be a good leader, you have to be able to follow other people that lead as well too.
So is it a point of not being the smartest person in the room, making sure you have smart people around?
Absolutely, because there's always somebody smarter than you. You can't be the smartest person in the room. There's always somebody smarter than you.
And the reason why I said that to her is because I want people to understand that you have the policy also of working with the staff and understanding that you do have people that you can hand off things. You can't hold everything yourself. A lot of people get in office and they want to do everything, but you're going to be able to have the type of staff around you that everyone is working.
Exactly. I think a lot of times that's where leadership falls. They try to take on everything themselves. You have to be able to delegate. You have to be able to delegate. And the more powerful people that you put around you, and the more people that you allow to delegate, you make them as powerful and knowledgeable as well too.
And the reason why I brought that up is because we have so many things going on in the South Suburban area. Everyone at national news, things like that. And I just feel as though that everyone needs help. And if you have help, you can be successful.
Absolutely. You have to be willing to receive it.
You got to be able to receive it, right? So that's what I want everyone to understand, that you do have that mind. Tell me a number to punch again, because I'm liking it.
Punch number 4 for Java Rogers for mayor.
Now, early voting starts on the 17th, March 17th.
March 17th to March 31st. You can also go to my website at www.java2025.com.
Y'all got that? Say that one more time.
www.java2025.com.
And if they have, is there a number that they can reach out if someone wanted to actually speak with someone?
So the phone number is listed on the website, so they can call me if they go on the website. The number is listed on there. You can email me also on the website, and that information goes directly to me. So they can contact me going directly to the website at java2025.com.
Now, the reason why I asked for a number too, you have elderly people too. Some of them may not be savvy of going on emails and all that, but they can pick up their phone and still dial. So do you have a number that you can mention to them?
They can call me anytime at 708-560-1194.
Only call with good questions, okay? If you have something that you really want to talk about, that's when you pick up the phone and call, because she's serious about this job. She's here tonight because she cares about her community. The Dean's List brings people in that care. Okay.
And I would say this too, because a lot of times people get scared sharing their number. Every student I have ever taught, every parent has always had my phone number.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they knew that if they needed something important from me, that they could always call me. So I don't want people to ever feel like they can't. And I don't want people to think that I'm unwilling to share, because I am willing to share, and I don't have a problem with doing it or talking to anybody that lives in the village.
Y'all heard that? Y'all heard that? I'm glad she's saying that, because people want to feel free to be able to call. Now, definitely email her, go on her website. Say that website one more time.
Java2025.com. JAVA2025.com.
Now, guys, we here today because we're bringing villages back to a real village. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Where everyone knows someone in that village. Where everyone can knock on somebody's door and understand that if I'm not at home, everybody's watching. Okay?
Everybody's watching.
We want that type of neighborhood. Hazelcrest is a good neighborhood. It really is a good neighborhood. I drive through Hazelcrest, and you were telling me that there were some vacancies, but I've never really noticed it.
And we do have some vacancies. We want to ensure that we strive to keep the vacancy numbers down and to increase home ownership. That's something that is very important. That's near and dear to my heart. I don't like to see families that have to move due to whatever circumstances that they have to struggle from. I don't like to see students have to transfer from a school because the family have to move for whatever reason.
Now, that's a good thing you just brought up. Do you feel that most of the communities out here, even Hazelcrest, the reason why people don't get to know each other because people are steady moving around?
Absolutely.
I mean, you're renting here, you're moving here, you don't have any stability here, so you just say, I can up and move and do whatever, whenever.
You know, and I say this because why not Hazelcrest? Why are we not the community where people go come in and develop that economic engine? We have the economic engine there. That will increase home ownership is a sustainable economic engine for the village of Hazelcrest. Whereas it will increase home ownership, it will increase stability at schools, therefore your home values go up. People have jobs that are close to home, so you can have people who have a better, stronger family life as well too.
Right.
You know, people who travel to work an hour and a half, they have less time for their children.
Right.
They have less time for their family, and they're probably a little bit irritated. Don't want to hear a lot of problems they going. So people who can work close to home because of that economic engine, they shop in the community and they spend more time with their family as well.
Now, as far as bringing the economic side to Hazelcrest, you guys, are you looking for the future to bring in more businesses, and what type of businesses are you looking and striving to bring into Hazelcrest?
I use the word sustainable a lot of times because it is important to have somebody who can stay in the village. We don't want a business to come in and they have to leave because it's not something that is sustainable. We want to make sure those businesses that come in are able to stay in the community, that the businesses can be supported by the community, and they can thrive. We want those businesses to be able to thrive. We want them to strive to come and be successful in our community.
And now we're not just talking about businesses, just minority business. We want all businesses in the neighborhood.
Absolutely.
But we definitely want minority businesses in the neighborhood.
Definitely. We want to make sure that we are able to redevelop our community. I see a whole new renaissance coming in Hazelcrest. I truly do. And I think I could bring that to our community. That community redevelopment will create an entire new renaissance that will create sustainable economic engines for our community.
You guys got that? Yeah, I understand that. Because you know what? A lot of people don't listen. But I really want you guys to understand. When you're talking with somebody, you can see the emotion in her that she's very serious about what she's doing in the community already. So can you tell us some of the things you've been doing since you've been trustee?
So, as trustee, and I'm going to say this before I even talk about it as a trustee. One thing I do that a lot of people, I walk my community. I walk every morning. I walk through the community. Mm-hmm. I want people to know that I'm there. I'm there for them. I want them to know that I feel safe. If I feel safe, I want you to feel safe as well too. Mm-hmm. Because safety is something that people are concerned about. And if I feel safe enough to walk every morning by myself, I want them to feel safe enough to be in the community as well too. Safety is something that's very important. So I always strive to make sure you feel safe. That's huge for me. Mm-hmm. And as trustee, one of the things I wanted to let everybody know, bringing those new roads. I'm going to start off talking about new roads. We had roads done. Mm-hmm. We didn't complete all of the roads, but going back to the economic engine coming into the community for a new renaissance, mm-hmm. we'll be able to get the rest of our roads done. Then we will have that additional funding that we'll be able to complete the roads in our community. That's important for everybody too. And
let me ask you this question too. When you guys start doing that, and you're already doing
Absolutely.
Some of the work, do you have minorities on those jobs?
We do. We do have minorities on those jobs, but we will increase. I will look forward to increasing that.
Okay.
Increasing the amount of minorities. Mm-hmm. Reaching out to more minority companies so that they can come in as well too.
Right.
I want to make sure that we're open to minority companies coming in. Definitely. I'm somebody that's going to always ask about minorities and seek minorities to come into the community. I definitely will.
Okay. So what I want you guys to understand tonight is a special night because we're reaching out to all people who want to do a great job in their community. So I have someone else in the house today that we're going to be bringing on in a moment. But what I want you to do again, Ms. Rogers, give them your full name, give them your email, give them your website, and let them know what to punch.
Thank you very much. Now, it was a privilege and an honor to be here with you. And it's a privilege and an honor to serve the village of Hazelcrest. I appreciate being elected 2 terms. My name is Java, Java, Rogers, Rogers. You can contact me anytime at java2025.com. That's my website. Or you can email me at java2025@gmail.com. Or you can call me as well, 708-560-1194. And thank you all for your time. I appreciate you.
You are so welcome. Building that village, guys. Building that village back up. That's what we want.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you came tonight.
Thank you so much.
You know you got 80 now. Let's keep it that way.
Keep it this way.
If you're looking for funding from $10,000 to $400,000 with a business startup, working capital, real estate investing, franchise, or stock investing, and have a 650 credit score with an annual income of $30,000 a year, contact DNA Loan Services at 708-888-1460. There's no upfront cost, no out-of-pocket expense. We have a 99% approval rate. So call now, 708-888-1460.
We're back with the Dean's List, and I have my second guest on for tonight. Very special guy. First of all, I want to welcome you on the Dean's List, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I'm going to tell you just a little bit of background about this. It's a proud moment to be sitting with him. We both went to high school, went to college together, and I'm going to say this to you. He's a great guy. Before you say anything.
before I start lying.
Yeah. Well, what we have here, who we have here right now is we have Jeffery Coleman. He's the deputy committeeman for Thornton Township, current Republican committeeman for Thornton Township. So guys, we're going to be talking about the things that's important to all of us, because guess what? It's not who's in the job, it's who's going to do the best job for everybody. And that's what we're doing here on the Dean's List today. We're making sure that everybody gets recognized, and every idea, and every point, every I is dotted, every T is crossed, and every point is made. That's what we're doing today. So Jeffrey, tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Well, like you said, we went to both high school and college together, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He tried to bully me when he was a year ahead of me.
Yeah, 1 year, just 1 year.
So yeah, Jeffery Coleman. And as long as you've been knowing me, I've been a Republican. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
So I haven't jumped on any Republican bandwagon all of a sudden. I've been deeply entrenched in our community. My dad who is my hero, forced me into politics. You know, I wasn't getting paid, making envelopes and all that kind of stuff. Learn the game. So community outreach is really my thrill.
Now he's here today because he's running for a seat. Tell him the seat you're running for.
Well, I'm running for trustee. People always ask me, who you running against? I'm not running against anybody. I'm running for our community.
Trustee in Thornton Township.
Yeah, Thornton Township.
Right.
We have a slate of capable and beautiful individuals. We have a Republican slate. I like to encourage people to visit our website and learn more about our candidates and our slate. And I don't consider us running against anybody. It's time that we stop running against individuals and start running for our communities.
Right.
You know, everybody always says transparency, economic development, and all these things that never come to fruition because they're too busy barking at each other.
Let me ask you this: how do you feel personally? You know, I had a young lady on just before you. How do you feel about working with everybody on both sides?
You have to. We don't have the luxury of being politically selfish. That's our problem now. That's why our communities look the way they do. Because it's not being service for the community. Everybody's in-house fighting, bickering, and all that kind of stuff. That's not attractive.
Right.
And basically our communities reflect that. Nothing's getting done if we continually at war with each other.
Right. And what I'm liking, guys, is that it's time out for ruining people's lives. Let me say that again. For ruining people's lives. You're going for a seat to do something for the citizens of that village, state, wherever you at. You're not doing something to ruin one person's life, because guess what? If you win that seat and they leave that seat, what you have done now is made a bad plight for them going down the road, because I can't believe how we talk about each other and do all that. So I'm glad that you're not doing it. I just want to make that point. I'm glad that you're not doing it.
No, it's not. I don't have room for it. There's no future. So 17 municipalities that the Thornton Township encompasses. There's a lot of services and goods that needs to be, continually produced without hiccup. So, I'm cool with that.
I'm glad you are, because we want, and especially on the things, I believe in working with the right person. I said that earlier. I believe in working with the person that's going to do the job, create jobs, making home ownership better, all those different things. So why are you running for trustee? What's the deal?
Well, number one, I was asked to. And, after a couple of beers, I was like, you know what, I'll do it. But then I thought about it. I was like, you know what? Now it's time for individuals who are serious about community. I'm not saying that everybody else isn't, but I haven't seen it because of the turmoil. We've been on the news for 2 consecutive 3 years, and it's terrible. It's not a good look.
Right.
And it's not functioning. Right now, it's not working. You have trustees not coming to meetings, leaving meetings. It's shameful, is what it is. And I'm tired of it.
And it's also this, because I went through this, guy, just recently, where people falsely, when you tell them that you're running, like you're running now, young lady's running, and you get people to get you on the wrong path. What I mean by that, they lead you in the wrong directions. And when it comes down to actually voting time, it's too late for you, because you can't get on board, you can't this, that, and the other. And I'm so happy that you guys are coming in today with your right mind on and saying we're working together, guys.
Well, the community always has to work together. And some people are just so turned away from the Republican name and all that. But in all honesty, I don't even know where that stigma came from, because we are deeply entrenched in Democratic bedrock for years. Even when we had Republican governors, it was controlled by a supermajority of Democrats. So our communities are. You have never had a Republican in your lifetime, our lifetime, a Republican mayor of Chicago, or a Republican mayor of Dalton. So the finger blaming should be pointed directly at us, because we keep continuing to vote for the same people over and over and over again and expecting a different result, and it's not. Our students are reading at 3rd grade levels. Economic development. Come on, man. Everybody says that. And do you see it? I know where I do see it at. When I drive through Tinley, Man, they're doing some magnificent stuff over there. Look at South Holland.
Yes.
Mark them.
Yes.
Look, there are communities that with cranes and bulldozers, you know what I mean? Building sustainability, period. Talking about sustainability and what it does for public safety, education, the whole nine. It's just, it's terrible that we haven't, you know, how old are you now? You older than me, so.
Yeah. You want me to put it out there?
Yeah, you older than me.
Yeah, 58 this year.
Yeah, it's the same pothole on Halsted was been 128 for Halsted has been there since '88. We should focus. We had as much focus on the nonsense as some productive things. We'd be living pretty high on the hog.
So tell these people what a trustee does.
Well,
especially in the position in Thornton Township.
So basically, a trustee acts almost like it's a governing body. People can have aldermen, but we help govern goods and services for the community. It's like its own governing, infrastructure.
Right.
So we make sure that the things are working properly, and people are getting the resources that they need. You know what I mean? And they have ideas about building and sustainability and improving tax situations and all of that. It's an honor, number one, but it's also a great responsibility. Not just a title to hold and a seat to have.
Right.
You got to put in work,
right,
and you have to see the result of that effort. How many times people get reelected and reelected and reelected, and we don't see the result.
Right.
But we'll see them get an award every 2-3 days.
Right.
You know what I mean? Hobnobbing with the special interest groups.
Right.
But our community doesn't benefit from career politicians or incompetent politicians.
So what you're saying, over these years that we've been coming up, we see the same faces.
Oh, yeah.
So it's time for new.
No, I don't even like to use the word new or change, because those words have been worn out.
Okay.
Let's just do it.
Let's just do it. Now, with you being a Republican, since you brought it up, because I really don't talk party. I talk right people. But I'm saying, with you being Republican, and say if you have your mayor is in that community, or the other sitting people around you are Democrats, you're going to be able to work cohesively with them.
I don't see. This is a great opportunity, because the political landscape in Illinois is changing, and people are waking up. I'm not asking you to become a Republican. You know what I mean? I'm a Republican because I align myself with more conservative, and most blacks do. But I want you to boost your political IQ and stop being so blindly dedicated to a one-party system that doesn't work. That's because nobody is being held accountable, because they're not at risk of losing anything.
Now let me say this now. You see what's going on. Everyone sees what's going on every day since we have a new White House.
The political pot is definitely being turned.
Right, it's being turned, but is it being turned for the better? Because I have to ask you these questions, because we got DEI.
Yeah, I remember.
We got all of.
I remember DEI.
Yeah.
Oh man, I came up on DEI. You did too, didn't you? Get out of here. First time I ever heard, man, come on, man. We need to, first of all, stop being led by the nose. Stop letting media and all these popular. We're finding out right now how bamboozled we've all been
all these years, and
it's hard to peel the swallow. And a government that you trusted, individuals that you trusted, have been a part of this pimping. Right. You know what I mean? And my father always told me, if you want to clean the bathtub out, you got to drain the water out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So people don't want to wake up to the fact, but fortunate enough, you don't need 100% of everybody to agree.
But I'm asking you this: are you in agreement with everything that's going on
right now?
Right
it's
now.
Necessary.
And why? And the reason why I'm asking this, because people are going to say Dean didn't ask these questions.
That's not a Republican answer. That's just a United States citizen's answer. I want to see where the bones are buried. Yeah, I want to see where wasteful spending has been occurring. I want to see the money laundering path.
But do you do that with some type of form about it? Not just actually just signing stuff.
First of all, I'm not the one that's doing it.
I know you're not,
I'm watching the movie just like you are.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So how do you feel? That's what
I feel good.
You feel good.
Yeah. Anytime anything negative is exposed, they say whatever's done in the dark comes to the light. But when it comes to the light, nobody wants to accept it because it's so unbelievable. And then you pit this one person against, the accomplishments that's already happening right now, just based on your deep hatred or dislike for that particular person. And that just so happens to be the President of the United States for the next 4 years.
Right.
But
are you in agreement with everything he's done?
I haven't seen one thing that I don't agree with.
Now, I have something that I just want to say this.
Okay.
Because I'm able to do it. But I'm just saying,
it's your show.
But I'm saying I feel
I'm not the camera.
I feel that people are losing their jobs. Now, let me say this. Everyone gets up every morning and they go look for a job. Okay? Based on their skill sets, based on their education, this, that, and the other. So many of those people that are sitting in these jobs are losing their jobs, not because they're about the political system. They got that job because they felt as though they had the right, that they had the right skills and all this. So I have a problem. I have a personal problem with that, and I want people to understand that. I have a personal problem with that. I feel as though everything should be vetted. It should be vetted properly. And if you were going to do something like that, it should have been some type of structure for it. It should, not just, writing, saying tomorrow 40,000 people are going to be out of job, or how many people in the government are going to be out of job. That just hit me in a funny way because people were born. Some of our family members are being affected. Many of our family members are being affected by this. And it's not because they had a political aspect about it. That was their job. That was their living.
Okay.
So how do they move on from there? What do you feel about that?
So I'm not the one that really likes to go tit for tat. I just like to break the facts down, non-emotional.
Okay.
Non-emotional.
Okay.
Every president has had mass layoffs. Everyone.
Right.
And I'm not talking about 200, 300. I'm talking about tens of thousands of jobs.
Right.
The whole Doge system is not a new. It's a new name, but it's not a new system. But Obama tried to impose, address wasteful spending and government employees that got fired and all that. It happens, right? But then when you find out that people have been literally ravaging our tax dollars, with so much disrespect, where these monies and these dollars are coming from USAID and all this other stuff, finding out that all these businesses will be with these mass layoffs have been stealing, the majority of them, and are not functioning. You've never witnessed anything like this before, and I haven't in my life. You know what I mean? My parents haven't. We discuss this kind of stuff all the time. Not everybody in my family is Republican. Contrary to popular belief,
right?
But it's not easy. Change is not easy, especially for those who have been benefiting from the conditions that we are all in. And they ought to be ashamed of themselves, and they ought to get locked up.
Now, are you looking to bring change in the position that you're going to have?
I can't bring change. I would like to help manage the existing infrastructure to make it as effective as humanly possible for the greater, for the constituents within Thornton Township. I want to see what works, what's not working, fix it, execute.
But fixing it means that you have to work with others too.
Yes, absolutely.
You have to work with the whole community.
But you have to get your answers from your community.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So you're talking about more grassroots.
That's the only way it's going to save it. You got to go grassroots. You can't be special interests. You can't be cliques, political cliques. That doesn't service. That doesn't service us at all. Right. And I'm talking from I live in this community. Right. You know what I mean? There's services right now that seniors are not getting right now because of the disruption in the township. You don't have to agree with everything I'm saying, even though I'm 99% almost always right. But the writing is on the wall. You don't have to go too far right now to find a lie. It's coming up every day.
Every day.
So,
but that comes from people like yourself actually getting out there too. The reason why I'm hitting you with the hard questions is because I just want people to understand that they want to hear these things because they want to know what your heart and mind is talking about.
Yeah.
You know, and if they don't get to know you, why would you even try to even move into that position?
Exactly. Well, I'm not new to my community at all. So, like I said, you know, me and my family has been deeply entrenched in community outreach for years. Nobody can deny that. And it's not been a Republican-driven thing. It was a people-driven thing.
Right, because you guys had businesses and everything that you had.
Not only that, we've helped people get business. Right. We help people get employment. We've helped our community through things I'm doing, outreach, barbershop, network, and all this other stuff, kind of things, positive things. You know what I mean? Of course, you're going to get individuals that don't agree with us, but, you know, you can't satisfy everybody.
It's very serious about our communities. So I want them to be able to contact you. Let me say the number.
Okay.
The number is 773-599-1776, www.ttgop.com, and then the email is tt76@gmail.com. Guys.
That was pretty good, man. What high school did you go to?
Yeah.
You must have went to Percy LaVon Julie.
Yes. And we want you guys to really reach out because he's serious, even though he's been a little jokester. We're friends. We've been all our life. But I'm saying, we definitely want you to reach out to him. I'm quite sure he's going to be available to answer any questions that you guys have. What's the first thing you're going to do when you win? I'm going to say when you win, Trustee.
Assess the damage. You gotta go in and see where the holes in the boat are in order to fix it. And then you have to get community buy-in. And you have to do it old school way.
So how do you do that?
You gotta knock on some doors. You gotta do some surveys. You gotta, ask people, town hall meetings. That used to work. You know, we gotta get back to the basics. And without bias or prejudice.
Right.
You don't hate me because of my political preference. Hate me because of what I do or what I don't do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, like I said, working with a slate of individuals, I'd like for you to, if you could, you did such a great job.
Yes, we have the people that you're working with is called the People's Choice for Change in Thornton Township. You had Richard Nolan for town supervisor, and then we have Keisha Richardson for trustee. We got Carl B. Dabrowski. He's running for trustee. We got Jeffery Coleman, who's sitting right here, running for trustee. We also have David Barnes. He's running for trustee, and Tim DeYoung, highway commissioner. These are all very important positions, guys. These are positions that you need to really take a time out to know who these people are. When you put these people in seats, you don't want to just put people in seats because you know their face. Yes. You know their name.
And endorsements are very good,
right.
are nice, and I'm honored to anybody that ever endorsed me or our slate. But the greatest and the biggest endorsement comes from the community. So you're right. Research, go online, ask questions, fill out the survey, or arrange a meeting. We'll come, because you have to be, not just for this election, for all elections.
Right.
We need intelligent voters, not emotional voters. You see how emotional voting is what has gotten us over the last 50 years.
Yes, it's got us the same thing.
Yeah, I can't live with that.
Right, it's time for change, guys. It's time for change in all of our communities, but it's also time to bring that village back together. You have to be able to know.
17 municipalities, 17.
Right.
So that's Thornton Township is, I believe, the largest township in the state, second largest in the country. So there are a lot of services and a lot of contracts and a lot of things that one of our slate members that run for supervisor mentioned that the employment of people in these townships basically don't even live in the township. These contracts, you know what I mean?
Right.
All of this stuff that just needs to be evaluated and looked at to see exactly how it better serves our community as a whole. I'm talking about real service.
Y'all heard that. And you got to hold them to it because everything people say during these times means something. And what I tell you to do is take notes. Take notes on what he said today. Take notes on what Ms. Rogers said today, and make sure that you understand that when you come up to them, that they still have this same thought. Because what happens is everyone wants to look good, everyone wants to sound good, but we want them to do good.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
And I really honor and admire Trustee Rogers. She puts up with, believe me, man, we had some scrapes because she's a more independent Democrat. She's a Democrat, and boy, you know what I mean. I be ducking blows.
But I want to tell them, because even though I wanted to interview them on their own, because they're going about this on their own merits. But the blessing of today is that we're able to sit down and collaborate together and get the ideas from each other, because guess what? We gotta work together.
We have to. But also, what I would like to say is very important. Some people just deserve to be elected officials. Some people who are elected, man, they work their behinds off.
Right.
They are deeply interested in the community. And one thing I can say about Java, her work record stands on. She's a cheer coach, she's an educator. We're not talking about when she goes out, the community embraces her.
Right.
So I don't even want to think of her as a politician seeking a higher office.
Right.
I think that Hazelcrest would be, and this is just my opinion, I think would be they deserve her because they know who she is, her mom, her family. She has a what, her A?
She got an A today.
She got an A.
And she keeping it that way.
Yeah.
And I want you guys to understand that it's a blessing today to have them both on the show, because I got both perspectives. I got what Jeff is saying, I have what Miss Rogers is saying, and I want you guys to know you got to make up your mind. So I'm gonna be taking some pictures with her, because she want to take one with me. I don't know if Jeff wanted with me. Probably got too many with him. But I want you guys to know that this has been my first time that I'm able to actually talk about community things. Who's going to be in what position, who wants what position, all those good things. And it's a blessing, because I want to be free-spirited to be able to do that. So I thank you guys for coming on the Dean's List today.
And also, you have integrity. See, you're making a platform, you're creating a platform for yourself that's going to be huge. Because now we're learning that all media ain't good media. You know what I mean? So if you have a media outlet that with integrity, that has an open mind, an intelligent open mind, and let people voice their opinions without being chastised.
Right.
Come on, man, that's gravy.
And that's what I want you guys to know. I want you guys to make your own minds up. That's why I wanted them on the show today. I'm glad that they reached out to me. They actually reached out to me. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to start doing this, because I want you guys to know who's going to be in what position and what they're talking about. But here on the Dean's List, I want you guys to take notes.
I don't think I reached out to you. I saw you at Gino.
Oh, you're so crazy. So I want you guys to know this has been a special show. We want to thank you guys, and I want to thank you, John, for coming on the show. Give them that punch. What number for you again?
I believe it's 65.
No, you 64, right?
64?
Yeah, I think you're 64, so.
No, I'm 65.
You're 65?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he knows best. Punch. You see his face. You can't miss that face.
But I encourage everyone to consider our entire slate. So we're not doing an individual effort. We're slated.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I stand behind everybody that was handpicked by Brother Tim DeYoung, who was actually the current Thornton Township Republican committeeman.
Right.
He appointed me deputy.
Okay.
So he handpicked everybody.
Okay.
And we all agreed that it's a great team. Just research and then make the choice for yourself.
Do your research, guys. Makes no sense to go out here and I'm just gonna say this for myself. You get so many people giving you these flyers and everything. It's great to have flyers, but it's also great to know what's behind the face.
Right.
And in the mind of these people.
Well, as much as you can possibly.
As much as you can.
Yeah.
But only way you can do that is
right.
by being involved.
Right.
And what you said, grassroots, knocking on these doors, going to people.
You're listening to people.
Yeah, being open for them to be able to reach you and all that good stuff.
But then you got to start campaigning after you get elected. A lot of us individuals who get elected and
they gone.
Right off into the sunset.
They gone.
It has to be a sustainable effort, every day, grassroots. And that's how your community grows. I don't have all the answers, but I guarantee you, through 17 municipalities, listening to all of those residents, we can find a bunch of them.
Right. Well, it's been a blessing today, bro. And I want to say that. I say bro because you're my guy.
Can I get that 20-year-old?
Oh, the 12. I don't know, yeah. But definitely, guys, you're going to see more of both of them. We had today Mr. Jeffery Coleman on the Dean's List. We also had Java Rogers running for mayor of Hazelcrest. I'm telling you guys, do your work. Only way to get the right person in is by doing some work. Get up every day. Get knowledgeable of the neighborhood that you live in. Make sure that you start. See, when you're choosing homes now, most people are, and I just want to say this before we go, most people are getting into these homes and you got a lot of renters here, you got this type of person over here, and nobody's knowing each other. Because tomorrow be somebody new in this house, be somebody new in that house.
But it's just disconnected in all four corners because of the technology. Our students in our schools are deteriorating. All of this stuff has a solution. God is number one, and base of economics is number two. And that feeds everything else.
Right.
So when people think about financial literacy, you know how many times I've heard elected officials bring up financial literacy programs or first-time homeowner buyers programs. You need to bring these and make it work for real.
Right.
Not just show and tell. I'm talking about really implement this stuff and help and hold people accountable.
Right.
Because people are disenfranchised and dislocated from politics because they don't believe it works for them. So it's just that's why we get the lowest voter turnouts ever, continuously, because nobody participates because they don't trust it.
Right.
And now more than ever, people are being. You know how many calls I've gotten in the last couple of months? People apologizing to me. Like, Jeff, you were always right. Because I've been talking about this since the untimely demise of the greatest mayor in the history of the world was Harold Washington. That's when our family became Republicans. And I've been preaching this, and everybody that knows me and my family knows that's 100% true. But now I'm seeing when I go to the barbershops and just the conversation change is so enlightening.
Right.
Not saying to choose one side or the other, but get out of the one and use this noggin. You know what I mean? And I think we'll be all right.
Yep, guys. So you've been on the Dean's List today.
Can I get an A?
He got an A today. I was gonna take it to a B, but he got an A today. And I just want to say, man, thank you for coming on, really. And I'm looking forward to a lot from you, man. If you become trustee, everyone's looking for a lot from you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Hold me accountable.
Yeah.
You just got to get me elected first.
Right. Guys, use your own mind. Only way that you can use your own mind is by making sure you know what's going on.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you want to give me information?
Yeah.
Again,
so the information again to get in contact with Mr. Coleman
not
here,
just the Coleman, but
the whole entire slate is 773-599-1776. The website is www.ttgop.com, and then the email is tt76@gmail.com. Did I do a good job?
That's excellent.
These are new glasses.
Yeah. that's what that public high school education did for you in the 80s.
Yes, it did. Guys, thank you for being on the Dean's List. You know what? We love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. What we want you to do is subscribe to the Dean's List, and you guys, you're going to have more and more better content coming from the Dean's List, because we got people like this that's going to assure that that's going to happen. Am I correct?
If you maintain your platform, you're going to be very successful because it's going to be sought out.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Guys, we love you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. We're going to see you next week right here in the studio. Keep your mind right, do right, keep God first. Love your family and love your community. Peace out.
And vote.
Do you want to buy a home but don't have the credit or down payment? Call Carol Dean from Nexa Mortgage at 773-447-8941 for your free consultation. Carol can help you with down payment assistance as well as credit restoration. Carol can get you approved and on the road to home ownership. Call Carol Dean today at 773-447-8941. You won't regret it.